Good morning, sir. Good morning, classmate. So this is the continuation design for the designing of the wave. First, in working with themes and templates. If you are building a site using a remotely or locally installed CMS, you'll need to select theme. CMS sites are built using a set of files that generate individual page parts such as headers, footers, and content areas. So this is the example for for theme for theme templates. So there are headers, footers, and content areas. So this is the example. A theme is a packaged set of files. You can install the ticket, how the parts will go together, and what they will look like once assembled. Most themes are editable to some degree, and many have simple no-code experience needed interface that let you make changes. At a minimum, themes allow you to change color palettes and font choices, and to replace images with your own. More advanced themes might allow to additional plugins for added functionality. Some have drag and drop interfaces that allow you to reposition content blocks. If you have good coding skills and your particular installation allows access to the code, you can customize them any way you choose. Some have drag and drop interfaces that allows you to reposition content blocks. If you have good coding skills and your particular installation allows access to the code, you can customize themes any way you choose. Templates are package sets and ready-to-go website files with placeholder content. Swap out the placeholder content for your own. Upload your web to your web hosting account, and you're good to go. Templates comes all shapes and size too, but editing them does require coding and sometimes programming experience. So, and there are differences with templates and themes. So, and theme is have no wala siyang good experience and no code experience. Wala. Samantala ang templates ay mayroon. There are thousands of themes and templates options, some free, some not, some beautiful and functional and other just. When choosing themes and templates, consider your laundry list of necessary content and find out that accommodates all your assets. Don't choose a theme or template design for a great or portfolio content is primarily articles and social media pages. Here you consider images when your content is primarily articles and social media feeds. Here are a few other things to consider. Choose responsive themes and templates. This ensures your site will look great across all viewing devices. We will explain more about responsive website a little later in the chapter. Look for documentation. Unless you want to spend hours trying to figure out how to get the slider on your theme to work, it is the best to find a theme that comes with instruction. Drag and drop themes and built-in style editors are helpful when your knowledge of code is minimal or non-existent. Consider the navigation. In some ways, a site, especially a mobile site, is only as good as its navigation. Try weaving a template review in different gadgets. See how the navigation behaves. Don't choose your theme or template on looks alone. Looks are custom-made and can be changed. It's more important to get a theme or templates with the right content areas and functionality you want. Doing your own thing. Website from the ground up. If themes and package templates just won't cut it. You can design from the scratch after you've gone through the planning process when you're creative brief. Creative a site map and assemble your assets. Your next move is to some design sketching. You need a create wireframes. To create wireframes visually organize the content. Wireframes sketches show the placement and function of content on each type of page in your site. You may need one sketch or many depending on the number of unique page layouts on your site. Before you start sketching, there is an additional wrinkle to iron out. We've mentioned repeatedly that your site must function well and will good across screen size that vary from smartphone master monitor. To address this issue, many designers and developers build sites that are responsive. So, on wireframes, dapat maganda siya sa paningin at sa panisismart o sa monitor chart. In terms of layouts, responsive website adjust to fit the screen of any web viewing device. Since one site adapts to all, there is no need to build separate sites for each screen type. Which is because we're pretty sure nobody has the time, budget to design the same site for times. To return to the process of working sketching, responsive design begs the question: how do you create sketches for layout that changes? Mobile first. So there are special layout changes. Mobile first. The simplest answer is need you sketch each type of screen. These types include smart or tablet, vertical, tablet horizontal, and desktop computer monitor. And while you might be tempted to start by creating the wireframe for a big desktop screen, so this is the example for creating website. So there are sizes that include that includes mga layout na nakalagay dito sa there are nandito ang mga example. So sa smart ay ang media ay 320 pixels. So sa tablet layout vertical naman ay meron siyang width na 768 pixels. Sa desktop design layout naman may meron siyang width na 128 1280 pixels. So magkakaiba sila sa ibang gadget na ginagamit. This is the serious merit to drawing a wireframe for a smallest screen first. The mobile first concept was introduced by Luke Grobowski in 2011 because the mobile phone ownership was on exponential upswing. Grobowski counsel the importance of creating equally positive web experience across the screen size. In other words, viewing a site in a smartphone should be a watered down version of viewing the same site at desktop computer. Instead of building a big splashy site for the desktop and having to scrape it of features to make work in a scale. Start by designing a solid feature-rich site for a small screen. Next, create design for your large screen size, adjusting the layout and features to take advantage of the additional space, hardware capabilities. This is known as progressive enhancement. Although not designers embrace mobile phones, it is worth consideration. At minimum, it makes you take hard look at website goals proposed content. When your screen space is small, you will need to have room for the important content ratios. The mobile phone's approach forces you to deliver messages and provide functionality in the most efficient way possible that makes for a positive user's experience. For a wireframe part, using a grid, many designers appreciate the column grid as it converts into 3 or 4 column grids each. This is the example for wireframes. As well, there are grids that made it. So wireframe part 1. Establish the grid in the layout chapter. Discuss starting a layout by setting up a grid. In a first project, your first grid lines create a box matching the aspect ratio of your final trim layout, but the web line no two screens seems to have same declination, so you draw first grid lines based on the standard width of your choosing. Height of the sketch is determined determined by the vertical space needed for your content. So, sabi dito na pag-establish ng grid sa wireframe ay dapat may ratio siya at dapat may ratio siya. So, waveguide devices change our browsing behaviors and how scrolling is less of an issue. So, your sketch and therefore for a page can be as long as you need it to be. Within a reason of your scores, add uniform columns, grid lines to order and align the different axes of your each page. Use the same column grid on all sides pages to create a unified harmonious look. Many web designers use a 12-column grid as the number allows easy conversions to 4 or 3 column grids with 2 column grids. Of your design will use a grid, uniform squares, or horizontal bands to organize content. Add horizontal grid lines as needed. So, in a part of a wireframe, the sketch content and areas assets. Define the content areas, header, navigation footer, and additional grid lines. Show the position of your content, copy blocks, photos, video clips, etc. By drawing boxes, label each boxes and notate the functionality of its content. As you sketch, several established best practices of some web design conventions can help you decide where to place content. Establish a focal point. Your site needs a big bold something to catch the eye and set the tone for the site. You have many options. Consider using an important photo, slider on animation sequence, a create type technique, or something else entirely. Whatever you choose, place it in a position of importance near the top of the screen. Create hierarchy. Where are your most important sites assets? A view, testimonial, an important set of instruction. A sign up for purchase button or other call to action. Position your important items higher on the page. Style those items using size and colors to set the appropriate level of visibility and utility. Define relationship among assets on the page. Use continuity, alignment, proximity, and similarity to define what goes with what on your pages. Keep navigation above the fold. On old-fashioned newspaper terminology, above the fold is where editors put the important news to folks could see it. While the paper was still folded in the web terms, it refers to the portion of the website that can be seen without scrolling. While smart fonts and writing technology have made spelling or less a dirty word that than it used to be. You still must ensure your site visitor can see how to navigate your site in first view. So keep navigation above the fold, preferably near the top. Use a logo as a home. u- Use the logo as a home page then. List a logo or entity name in the upper left corner of your design. Make this logo serve as a link back to the site's homepage. So patterns to play. The web has been with us long enough that many graphical uses interface patterns and are self-explanatory. We understand the tabs, review buttons, color swatches, and image galleries without having to ask. So this is the example of patterns. Designing the main content area. Site content can include everything from copy to video clips to dynamically generated infographics, and most content areas include more than one type of content. Creating text-only pages is fairly straightforward. Reading copy or on the web can be set one or more columns with the number dependent upon page width. So, pag-design ng content area ay dapat tamang paglagay ng mga content. Designing the main content area. Site content can include everything from copy to video clips, dynamically generated infographics. And most content areas include more than one type of content. Creating text-only pages is fairly straightforward. Reading copy on the web can be set one more columns with number dependent upon page width. Set copy in the readable or most readable font format for the medium or sans serif, and use graduated heading sizes and styles to create hierarchy. List primary photos, graphics, and video clips near the top of their respected areas, using the grid structure as a guide. Make sure that none interrupts the flow or reading. Choose quality images. Please caption below images and remember to make those captions keyword rich for SEO purposes. Don't forget to add alt tags and descriptive to your photos and graphics for accessibility. The interactive nature of website introduces as a whole new layer of your complexity to page design. Take, for example, automotive website that allows you to create an image of your dream car. To co- the core content element of such a page is the basic image of the car. But the page also must include images of various options the buyer can choose. Paint colors, trim packages, interior packages, sound system, rims, tires, etc. How can you possibly get all that content a single page without creating a chaos? To design an interface, the answer lies the conversation of interface design, which refers to design user experience. The interaction between user tool to achieve a desired action. When you design an interface for a website, you're designing graphical user interfaces or GUI. The acronym is pronounced GU, GUI. Is in case you were wondering, the best graphical interface design a simple, intuitive, and unobtrusive. Interface design speaks to everything from the size, style, and implicit navigation buttons to the background colors for pop-up windows. While it's beyond our scope to dig deeply into the discipline, we highly recommend additional reading on the topic for those serious web design. In the meantime, we supply a chart of few standard interface design conventions or patterns to help organize complicated web content. Getting GIO. The patterns of interface design help us not to organize content but also address basic usability issues. As you sketch page design, ask yourself some question. Is your navigation easy to find? Do the links make easy? When you click past homepage, it is easy to tell where you are inside. Can you tell how to get back? So these are core issues of graphical user interface that apply to all web page and website design. Some tips for creative good GUI include: make purpose of each page clear at a glance. Keep length names clear, simple. Make the length name match the title of the corresponding pages. In other words, when you click on About Us, the page you arrive should be titled. Make buttons and links look like buttons and links. Navigation should be persistent. Limit the number of navigation links. Be wary of pull-down menus. Use colors to organize or order. Consider using breadcrumb trail. Provide a search box. Include a link to the homepage in the navigation menu. Arrange the navigation items in descending order by use. For web prototyping, once your sketches have made a place for everything and put everything in its place, the next step is to create some sort for color rendering. Some traditional renderings made with photo editing software are static. Many designers choose prototyping as a next step. Prototyping software allows the creation of functional mockup. The mockup shows the layout, but also displays working version of the site. Interactive composition, com- interactive components. Individual size assets such as photos, video clips are designed with a separate software then imported into the prototyping program. Another way to test drive in the interactive components of website is to build a beta site. A beta site is a working version of a website that is hidden publicly. For beta sites and beta prototypes allows designers and developers to work out any design issues before a site goes live. And as responsive web design becomes the standard listing with websites, interactive function is not just it's necessity. Design for the web of smartphone. Chooses interface and tiny screens. Mobile websites and apps have specific design requirements, including minimum size for clickable areas. Remember, your fingertips is not as precise as your mouse, and fat fingering links can accidentally send you off to internet parts unknown. The small size of screen makes it difficult to see. Much much less access most content on traditional website without excessive zooming and scrolling. In addition, many smartphones have touchscreen technology. It can be nearly impossible to click tiny links with our imprecise fingertips. To address the need of smartphone browser, designers are wise to create variation of website tailored for tiny screen. This is referred to as mobile sites. Alternatively, mobile application commonly as known as apps. Also, access to digital content. Apps are programs downloaded directly to your mobile device. They perform specific functions such as sharing photos and providing easy access to shopping. Some apps have same capabilities as full-blown website with interfaces geared for tiny screen. Some take advantage of capabilities unique smartphone.